This is Will with Joe's Gaming and Electronics, and I'm here with a repair video. Today I'll be showing you how to replace a damaged screen on an iPhone 8. We also offer a mail-in service for this issue for broken screens on all models of iPhones. Also, if you would like to repair this yourself and you're looking for tools, you can find tools in the link listed below to complete this job yourself. And let's begin. Start by using a Penelope screwdriver for the bottom two screws. Now, you can grab, if you have a heat gun, it's handy to have around. You can heat up the adhesive that's around the screen. If you do not have a heat gun, it's not the end of the world. You can still use a pry tool, but this just softens up any adhesive around. A hair dryer works just as fine, or just as well. Alright, get a pry tool sort of like this, pretty thin. I usually start from the bottom. And once you get it going, you'll be able to see the screen lifting up. You can go around. Now, before we go any further, I'll warn you guys that this side right here does have the cables, so don't pry too far under the screen. This is the bottom right side for me. So you just want to go sort of in there, but not too far. Also, around the home button area, you don't want to pry in too far because there's ribbons for this home button. Now once you get it going, you can slowly open it up with your hands. And so we'll be opening the iPhone like a book, but backwards. So the screen is going to open towards the right. Like so. Here's all the adhesive. Now it looks like there's a Phillips head screws holding down the screen ribbons. Also, before you get too far with unscrewing screws, be sure to lay out each screw in the same order so that they all go back into the same hole they came from, as some phones have different size screws for different screw holes. Now our first goal is to unplug the battery to remove any electricity that's flowing through the phone right now. Find the battery connector right here. You can use, if you're careful enough, you can use a metal tool. like so. Plastic will be preferred, but nylon, we don't have it right now in stock. Now that you disconnected the battery, you can continue using a metal pry tool as there's no more electricity to be conducted. But when you're prying against connectors, be cognizant of components around connectors, filters, capacitors, to not break them off. Now the camera ribbon. Disconnect the camera ribbon. Now the screen comes apart. There is some hardware on the screen that we will be transferring onto our new screen. Start by unscrewing Y-shape screws along the sides of this panel. If the screws are being stripped, you can put this against an edge of a table for it to be rigid. So I'll do that now. This holds the connector there, or the screw, firm without flexing. I'll do that with the next one also. We're on the other side now. Let's see if I can. This one's pretty flexible. It'll just strip most likely. Yeah, I'll just use the table method here. Alright, all of those screws are out. Let's go ahead and remove the camera and speaker. This is just regular Phillips. Be sure not to mix these screws up. Now you can push aside the camera ribbon, pull out your speaker. Okay. I like to use this flathead. This is a very versatile tool for prying tight areas. You can find this in the description, the link for this tool. Just pry underneath this speaker or the mic. Now that's off. And finally the home button. So the center screw is a little bit stuck. There it is. All right. Now you can unclip the home button. Be careful around the home button. Actually, let's pull this shield off first. And pry out the home button. If you have a heat gun, this will be very helpful. And punch it out through the front. There we go, all of the hardware for the new screen is here. Here's our new screen. Start by getting the shield on. Alright, let's do the home button first. Just line it up. The shield on. Looks like we forgot to screw in the shield. Okay, let's get the shield screwed in on the sides with the Y screws. Okay, sometimes it comes with this tape. Remove it. There's a small screw that holds down this mesh. And first thing you want to do is get the microphone and camera. Align these. I start with aligning the 4 gold connectors to where their pinholes are. And then we can work with the sensors, proximity sensor. And you should feel it when they're flush and sat into place. Next, before we put the camera into its proper positioning, let's grab the microphone, slide it in, and get the camera over it. Make sure everything is. Looks like I got some dust in the camera around it. There we go. Okay, and fasten it back down. All right, the screen is taken care of. Now we gotta install it onto the frame. Let's go ahead and remove the remaining adhesive. We will add some new adhesive around the perimeter. this adhesive doesn't necessarily hold the screen down, rather it just helps keep water out of the phone. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting this phone underwater, submerging it. We've had water damaged phones that haven't been worked on before, so I wouldn't recommend it. This is just an extra layer of protection if you happen to drop your phone in water or water gets spilled on it. Looks clean. Okay, let's figure out this adhesive. Alright, looks like it should be going in this way. Yep. It already has cutouts for the speaker or for the camera. This part needs help staying down. Yeah, it looks like you gotta just run a screwdriver tip to get it fully secured to the frame. Like so. All right. Next, when you have this screen, connect all the ribbons. Be sure to connect the battery ribbon last so that you don't have any short circuits. If you connect one of these connectors improperly, so that no pins that shouldn't be touching are going to be touching. Now, once all of the connectors are connected, now you can connect the battery back into place and screw all these shields back together. Okay, the last step is to clip the screen shut. Let's go and start with the top. And just work your way down, clipping the screen shut. And the two last final Penelope screws. All right, that's the final repair. Looks like the phone is probably dead. Let's connect it to a charger so you get a final